Howdy, good morning. My name is Rob and you're watching Junk Monkey Treasures. A lot going on in this video. Stick around to the end because I've got a lot of channel updates for you. Personal life updates, you name it. A lot of stuff going on in my life right now. All of it to the good, all of it about treasure hunting. So stick around for that. We got 5 things going out of here this morning. We've got a pair of Cole Haan shoes, which I'm probably going to end up losing a buck or two on. If it's all right, I've had them listed forever. I'm ready to get them out of here. I'd rather lose a buck or two than donate them back or throw them away and lose 10 or 12. Let's see, we sold another VHS. You recently saw me pick this up, The Secret of NIMH. One of my favorite animated shows back when I was a teenager, I think. Let's see, a Star Wars figurine, $12.99 free shipping. I got to start raising my prices a little on things like this, because by the time I package this up and pay for a label, I'm barely doing better than breaking even. And I need to make just another $1 or $2. So I'm going to go things like this from $12.99 up to $14.99 free ship, and just hope people will pay it. The $12.99 free shipping works great on VHS. I end up making about $6, but I only pay about 9 cents a piece for these, and they only cost me $4.60 some odd cents to ship. That's the label and the packaging. Let's see, we've also got a Pyrex lid going out of here. I like to pick these up out at the bins. Here in Southern Oregon at the bins, anything glass is 10 cents a pound. This might be 15 cents worth of glass, so not bad. We sold this $20 free ship. It's going to take $10 to ship it. We're going to make $5-6 on it, just pure profit, and I don't mind too much. And last but not least, the best sale going out here today so far will be this pair of Art Deco satin pink glass wall sconce light cover shade thingies. $50 free shipping. Probably going to cost me about $13 to $15 to ship. It leaves us $30 or $40 to make money on. I think I may have paid about $3 a piece for these, so we're going to make $20, $25 in profit on these. So maybe even a little bit more. We'll see. But let me get all of this stuff packed up, and we'll get out and do some thrifting. But first, you're going to see a couple of clips from some footage I shot 2 days ago, maybe 3. I went out, was not expecting to do any shopping, but I was close to the Goodwill, so I ran in there, got a couple of things on video for you. Not everything that I bought ended up in video, so stick around for the haul at the end of this video, which I'll show you guys the haul before I get into all the announcements. But right after those clips, I'll get you into thrift store, and we may even run over to the one of the antique malls. Last night I got accepted for the knickknacks.net Glass Gallery All Fenton Raid Train coming up weekend of March the 8th. I think it's the 7th, the 8th, and the 9th. My show is on the 8th. It'll be at 9:30 in the morning. Pacific Standard Time, so come join me for that. You're going to have to sign up to bid. You don't have to bid, and you don't have to sign up. You can come sign in as a guest, just hang out with me. But if you do sign up to bid, because there's going to be some great stuff at some great prices there, you're going to have to put in your shipping information and your payment information. And when you put that payment information in there, there should be a little slot for you to stab in a discount code. I'm telling y'all, sometimes my brain just says freeze. Anyway, that discount code is going to be JUNKM28 right there, and you have to go to knickknacks.net. That's NIKNAX.net, and I'll put a link to the show down in the description below. But I hope to see you there. Anyhow, let me get this shipping done, and I'll get you guys out there in a thrift store and hopefully an antique mall. Stick around and find out which. Like and subscribe. Come along for the ride. It's going to be a pretty good one today, I have a feeling. And just like that, we are in. And then right up until the moment I pulled my camera out, that new cart was swamped with people. I threw a couple of things. There's these plates which I've never seen, but they might be fused glass, which they are. And there's 2, 4, 5 of them. We're going to look those up. We found whatever this is supposed to be, Super Made cookware. We're going to look that up. It's got a hinge on one side. Imagine it's a fish cooker or something along those lines. And then we also found this little multi-vase. I have found one of these before, and I regret leaving it behind. I looked it up wrong. Didn't think it was worth buying. If nothing else, this will go in my live sale. And, oh, look at there. That looks vintage. Well, it's a vintage color. Not so much on the form. Yeah. It's got some dirt and some wear on the bottom. But the porcelain itself, or the ceramic itself, is too blast white. And now that I look at it, the glaze, the pink is not quite dark enough. That it might be 80s. But when it comes to that kind of stuff, I like it to be mid-century. Let's see what else we can find. What do we got up here? It's a planter. It feels kind of thin. I think it's a hobbyist piece. Not a piece of cake you want to eat. At least I don't think it is. Yeah, that's a candle. Let's see. What do I see on the other side? That's interesting. Yeah, it's going to be new. Yeah. Made in, where did it say? China. Too bad that's missing its stopper. There's a neat item. It is a Disney coffin-shaped baking dish, casserole dish, candy dish, who knows. I want $8 for it. It's just a little later in the year. I'd probably pick that up and just hang on to it until Halloween time, but I think I'm gonna leave that here for $8. All right, they brought me out another. Heavy, huh? Yeah. They brought me out 2 more carts, and I checked the ducks. They're pretty low quality, but they also had this big chunk of a glass vase. And if you look, it's got really dark primary colors, and there are bubbles all throughout the glass. And then it's got this big, thick base on it that's been ground, but it's scooped out. So with the primary colors, the bubbles in the glass, and the way the base was finished, and just how thick and chunky and clunky it is, we'll say that's Chinese. However, this little clear glass vase, which has been hand painted and signed by whoever painted it, E. Brown 94. This is a Fenton piece, and I'm betting it's from the 90s. I can see the Fenton cartouche, but I can't make out the number on the bottom. But since the artist painted it in 94, we're going to say that it's from the 90s. And I don't think the paint is fired on, so I think it's cold paint. Most Fenton artists will sign on the base, hand painted by, and rarely ever be dated. But for less than $5, it's Fenton. We're going to pick it up and take it home. How stinking cute are these elephants? Look at them dirty looking faces. They're hobbyist pieces, and they've got them priced at $4.49 a piece. I think I'm gonna have to leave them here at that price, but they are cute. All right, folks, we are back in my local Goodwill. Sorry about the noise you're about to hear. Those empty carts are so loud. It's a mid-century vase, and it's turned out of wood and made in Vietnam. It's probably a little later than mid-century. Oh, there's a cute owl. He's got both his ears. Wingtips are there. Tail tip is there. Royal Crown. I didn't see a price sticker on it anywhere. There it is, $7. I think that's all the money, but we'll put it in the cart anyway. And my happy elephants are still here. So we are going to, I think we're going to go ahead. Jesus, those things are loud. I'm sorry about that, folks. Them things are loud, loud, loud. Anyway, we're going to put the happy elephants, the derpy, happy-faced elephants in the cart. I've got a idea that I'm going to run 2 live shows on Sunday. All right, I'm turning it off till they get done with that mess. Good Lord, those things are loud. There's a drip glaze vase, probably, yeah, Ross or Target or something. Well, pretty nevertheless. There's a big utensil jar or a storage jar. If it's a storage jar canister, it's missing its lid. Not even 100% sure what that's supposed to be. Well, I see something coming up. I've had this before in several colors, and quite honestly, it's a $8 piece, and they want 5 for it, $4.79. Let's check this little Easter end cap. I don't see nothing on it. All right, folks, I will bring you back in when we find something. There's a neat teapot set. Oh, Pier 1, you get me every time. Yeah, Pier 1. We will leave that here for somebody else. Although I do have to say, I have made some good money selling some Pier 1, like the crackle glass stemware. A couple of months back, we found a cartload of it in here. Paid very little for it, and we have been selling through them like crazy. And folks, it is just chock-a-block full in here, crowded. I might switch over, change gears, do running and gunning in here, and then get down the road to a antique mall. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this will probably be the last clip in this store before we move. It is unbelievably crowded and loud in here, but I wanted to show y'all this cast iron Dutch oven with a glass lid. It looks just like the old Wagnerware, except it's not. It's the new stuff. And if that lid was an original Wagnerware lid, I would still get it. But it's not. This is a new remake, and they want $20 for it. So we're going to leave that here. I'm going to turn the camera off and straighten it up, and then we're out of here. All right, folks, we had to get out of that Goodwill. It's just entirely too crowded in there, and there wasn't much to look at. So we are now in the American Mercantile Antique booth, or Antique Mall, rather, here in Medford, Oregon. And they got some pretty nice booths in here, and we are primarily on the hunt for Fenton. But we are not going to pass up any good deals on anything else that we find. There's a beautiful bright green glass ashtray. Don't think it's Murano, but whoever it is, it's nice. They say Murano on the bottom, but the base doesn't look like Murano to me, and they want $40 for it. Let's see, that's a neat hobnail bud vase up there. Got a little iridescence to it, unmarked. Light blue, $20. Not bad price. And that looks like Kana or rainbow glass, crackle glass pitcher, $13. It's right on the money. I see some pink satin glass back there. You know, we just shipped out those 2 light fixtures. They were pink satin. And Huddle lead crystal vase, $20. I could swear I just saw one of them at Goodwill. Ooh, there's a bright orange controlled bubble. Not Murano. Don't know who made that one. I see some tool marks. What do they want for that one? $23. Not a bad price for that piece, but not much left for resale for us. Let's see. We don't need no modern vintage signs. We certainly don't need no License plates. By the way, do not sell license plates on Facebook Marketplace. Even the vintage ones. They will get you banned quickly. Well, that's a pretty rose bowl. Oh, super thin, color flashed. Yeah. It looks like there's a modern artist who finds red glass and paints her own flowers on it. She does a really good job of painting those roses. I saw this piece of Ozark art glass in Goodwill a couple of weeks ago. They wanted 15 for it in there, or 20, I can't remember. And in here they want 40 for it. But it was that exact one. I'm not talking one like it, I'm talking that very piece of glass. There's Fenton Hobnail bowl. I've already got one this size. Don't think I need a second one, especially at 30 bucks. Oh, wow. We'll get to the wow in just a second. There's some more hobnail. I got plenty of the milk glass. I'm looking for some color. But look at that monstrosity. That thing is huge. It's got to be 26 inches tall. It is massive. What do they want for that? Ooh, let's see, 20 bucks. I don't know that it's got any age to it. It's probably an import, but that dang is cool. All right, folks, I'll bring you in when we find something else. Well, we didn't have to go far. There's that big giant pitcher, decanter, whatever it is. We just made one turn, and there's a beautiful little 3-footed pitcher. It makes me think Northwood, but I'm not sure. $15. I love the opalescence on that. I don't see a marking on it. Oh, looky here. There is a Panda paperweight with flowers inside, made in China. What's the price on that? $7.75. There's the cloudy bottom for you. What other goodies do we have hiding right in here? There is a cranberry glass vase. I'm gonna get a look at that. But we're gonna get the bear. $15 for the pitcher. I think I'm gonna leave it. Much as I like it, I think we're gonna leave it. We gotta show a little discipline. There's some beautiful, I think that's called crown. It could be moon and stars. $5 a glass. Not looking for any glasses right now. Let's get this out of here. It comes with a shade that I'm not all that fond of. $20. I don't think it's as old as it pretends to be. It's got a new cord, new switch, but an old plug. No, it's just a plug that looks old. It's got the Phillip head screwdriver or screw in it. That would have to be rewired. I don't trust other people's wiring when they match something like that to something like this. All right, let's get this to the front and we'll continue our search. And way up high on that shelf are a couple of little Fenton cranberry mini pitchers. There's a coin dot one and a beaded melon one, but they want $40 a piece for those. Again, not a horrible price, but I don't think we can pay that. Well, we found another piece of Fenton. It's a Fenton votive in the shape of a bird. Unfortunately, it's got a big, nasty scratch on the side of it. Something dug into it pretty hard. $19 is not bad, but just one little scratch like that just kind of ruins the value of stuff. And now we are at my favorite booth in this entire mall. This is where I find most of my spaghetti poodles. and my Fenton. I've been calling this one the Fenton Honey Hole. Let's see, $50 on that. That's a gorgeous thumbprint basket in a persimmon orange. I don't think Fenton calls theirs persimmon, but I pretty much call all glass that color. Trying to set things down, but I call all the orange glass that color. Persimmon, I think Fenton may call it tangerine. There's a beautiful little turquoise, pastel turquoise fan vase. Ooh, $60. Even at 50% off, I don't think I can do that. Here's a Fenton Amberina bell, $20. And there's some of those funky orb vases. I've looked at them before. I know she wants 60 for those. And that nice piece of Fenton pastel turquoise, she's got it marked 80, so it'd be 40, which would be one hell of a deal. Except it's got a tiny little flea bite up on the edge. So we have to leave that here. One of these days I'd like to catch her in here and talk to her about it. Maybe I get it a little bit lower. Well, we just come across this little glass mushroom, somewhat controlled bubble, vintage 60s, 70s clear glass mushroom. I don't think it goes back that far. Yeah, some scuffs on it. I think we're gonna leave that here. Just take a quick look at the rest of the booth, see if I see anything, and I don't. Well, there is a beautiful little L.E. Smith Moon and Stars Amberina basket. King dish, what do they want for 18? Just can't get there. Full-blown retail on that is 20 to 25, so a great deal for a collector, but not near enough left for me to make any money. I would lose money after paying fees and shipping materials. Oh, there's a cute little kitty cat. Sort of like, oh, it's a lamp. Ooh, it's a lamp. And we got 25% off in this booth. How much do they want for that little lamp? Still got an original sticker on it too. It's got those little green gemstone eyes. I.W. Rice, $39. Oh. 25% off would be close to $10. So it'd be $29. I still can't quite get there. Ooh, what is that? That is, what do they call it? Vintage Amberina Glasswell Pilgrim Glass Company. All right. Let's see if we can get that rascal to show off a little bit of his glow. See if it's dark enough in here. Well, that didn't work like I wanted it to, but yeah, a little bit of cadmium glow to it. And let's see, how much do they want for it? 20 minus 25%. Be about $5 off, $15. I'm gonna have to think on that one a minute. Well, there's something we don't see in my area very often. That is a Blendo, I don't know, chip and dip set. There's 6 small bowls in the big bowl, and they want $65. So salad bowl and serving bowls. I don't know that I could do 65 on it. And just like that, we are in a totally different antique mall. This is the the Collector's Mart. And we just came across this little Fenton pink iridescent hummingbird. And they only want, how much was it? $20. So we're gonna take that. I also found this really cool Chinese paperweight ashtray. So they want $8 for that, so I'm gonna take that. And I'm gonna price out some more of this. There's one of those made in Taiwan 5-finger vases. I can see the $30 price tag on it. They're not worth that much. They're very pretty. And I'm thinking about starting a collection of them because you see them in all different kinds of colors. But these are not swung vases, these are tooled vases, meaning they grab the glass with their tools and pulled it into shape instead of getting it hot and swinging it until it reaches a shape that they like. All right, let me get off here and look some of this stuff up. All right, we have found a booth that I have bought from several times over the years. There's a little Fenton cranberry basket, a little small one for $25. We're gonna leave that. I looked up these dancers, and there are a lot of them listed in the $80 range, but none sold. I saw like a couple in the $40 range. Then there's the Imperial Ripple swung vase back there, but it's like seconds quality. The mouth of it closed up on them, so, and they are wanting $65. Unfortunately, the market for swung vases has gone down on the smaller ones like this. Now, once you get up over 24 inches, the market is still extremely strong for them, but the smaller ones, not so much. Now, over here, ooh, I see a Fenton sticker from here. It's a picture. It's blue. They want $19 for it. It has an original sticker. I don't see it on that one. $45 for that. Fenton, I don't think so. Yeah, no. See that pontoon scar? That is not Fenton. Oh, what do we got down here? $10, Fenton. Carnival glass. I don't see any big scratches across any of the iridescents. I don't see any chips. It is marked. So that one is made between 1972 and 1979. For $10, we're taking that one. Score. Well, folks, it's a little bit later in the evening. Actually, a lot later. I walked through one of those booths, and they had like all of the candles and the incense and the oils, and those smells got to me and got me to coughing, and that's why I was short of breath and coughing there towards the end. And my ribs are still not 100% healed up from where I fell last month and broke some ribs. But we made it. We found some good stuff. First part of the video where we were out shopping, that was 2 or 3 days ago. I had went out on a whim, just had to run a quick errand, and ended up just running into the Goodwill real quick. So let me show you what all we got that day. We ended up getting this Super Made cookware hinged cooking pan. It's a fish turner or a omelet turner. It's whatever it is. It's $40 to $60. The hinges are a little bit loose, but I'm a jeweler and a metal worker. I can go in there and tighten those rivets up a little bit with my jeweler's hammer. So, and we'll get that cleaned up. That'll be a pretty good sell. We also got this little multicolor, multi-vase thing. Last time I found one of these, I left it behind and I regretted it. So this time when I find one, I went ahead and picked it up. It's not the same as the last one I found, but I think it'll do well in our ceramic sale, which I'm going to try to get loaded and get going on Sunday. I'm going to try to do 2 different live shows on Sunday, which will be the day after you see this video. Links down in the comments down, or the description. Let's see. We also found towards the end there this little Fenton hand-painted vase or basket. It's signed by the artist, but normally Fenton's artists sign on the bottom, and it does have the Fenton cartouche. It's probably from the 90s, but I think the paint may be cold paint. I don't know that it's fired, because like I said, Fenton factory artists always sign their name on the bottom, hand painted by, and they put their name. This one is signed and dated on the side. We have the big Fenton sale coming up, so this will go in that sale. And then what you didn't see on the camera is I picked up another jar of jewelry. I'm starting to get quite the collection of these, and one of these days I'm going to have a live jewelry sale where we just open these up, go through them, and live sell stuff we find in them. I bought this particular one because it's a little heavier, and I see what I believe to be vintage. I see what I believe to be gold filled, not to be confused with gold electroplate. For those that don't know, gold filled jewelry scrap is very valuable. You can sell it by the gram for quite a bit of money, especially right now with gold so high. Now I also see several pieces in here that I think may be sterling. So for $40, and I got 20% off of that, I think it was worth the gamble. So I'll put this with the other jars that I'm collecting, and we'll get that sold. Now today, we went to two different antique malls. The first one, we come out of there with this little bear. Paid $7.75 for him. He's made in China, but doggone it, a little panda bear. There's flowers inside, and he's made in China, but just too cute. Couldn't leave him behind. This will go on a future paperweight sale. I still haven't caught my breath from, I think I'm smelling it on this bag, whatever that stuff was. I'm very sensitive to those things, like the perfumes and the incense and things like that. Anyway, we left there. We went across the street to the collector's market. Now, the last few times I've been there with you guys, I haven't didn't say anything bad about them, but the air had changed, the vibe had changed, the feeling that I got when I walked into the place had changed, and that's because they had changed owners, and there was a lot of shuffling going around. There were booth owners who were leaving, there were new booth owners coming in. They were actually expanding the building. They I got to go in there today, and this trip was totally different. The lights were brighter. Everything was cleaner. The clutter, for the most part, was gone. And I'm not talking about the good kind of clutter, like you find a cluttered up booth full of nice stuff. I'm talking there was no trash on the floor, so it was clean. Everything was a little more organized. They got some new booth owners in there. Some of the other booth owners spread out a little bit, gotten more bigger booths, and it's a lot nicer in there now. So I look forward to adding that one back into my regular scheduled trips, sourcing trips. Anyhow, we went in there, and first thing we found was this really cool, probably made in China, paperweight that's also an ashtray. I've never seen one. Nope, that's just a little gunk on it, but it may have a little scratch on it here and there. But for $8, I couldn't leave it. Next thing we found, and we paid up a little for it, but we found this Fenton pink iridescent hummingbird. Now this one has the Fenton oval on it, and it's probably got a number in there. It's either an 8 or a 9, so it's 80s or 90s. But these are pretty good sellers. They bring anywhere from $40 to $60 depending on the day. So we'll do pretty good on that. We spent $20 on it. And that will go in the upcoming Fenton sale. Put that next to the other Fenton. And we found another piece of Fenton Carnival glass. Beautiful piece. Grapes is the design on it. I don't know what the body color is. It might be Amberina. I don't know, I'll have to look it up. But an absolutely beautiful piece. And we paid $10 for that. We should get $18 to $24 for it. So there's what we found today during our treasure hunting and the last little bit. So a pretty good day as far as I'm concerned. We've got quite a bit of profit sitting on the table back there that I got to process and deal with. I told you guys back at the beginning I had a whole lot of announcements, channel announcements, things going on in my life and all of that kind of stuff. I try to make short as I can here, so stick with me. Number one, I got monetized over on Facebook page. That's pretty awesome. Hadn't even seen the first paycheck yet, but the numbers I'm getting, everybody's telling me they're fantastic numbers. So if you follow me over there, thank you so much. I appreciate you. And if you followed me from there over to here, I really appreciate you. It means the world to me. We also made the mark and got approved to be monetized right here on Facebook. Facebook was right here on YouTube. Well, I tell you, this brain just disconnects from the mouth sometimes. Monetization here on YouTube is set up in stations, levels, steps. I am monetized, but only in the fact that you guys could gift me money. I'm not asking you to do that. Or I can host a live show and you can send me super chats and super stickers. If you've ever hung out in the live chat rooms and stuff during YouTube live shows, you probably know what those are. And that's pretty cool. I used to host a weekly YouTube live show, and I'm going to start that again real soon. I got to figure out my streaming app again, because I don't stream directly to YouTube. In order to bring in a guest, I use a third-party streaming app called StreamYard. I've got to see if that's the same. I've heard there's been some changes. I got to see if I still qualify for the free part of it, or if I've got to buy in, so to speak. But anyway, once I get all that figured out, we'll start having some live shows over here for you. And again, it'd probably be weekly. They will not pay me until I reach or earn, or you guys gift me $100. So that's going to be a while, probably. Now the next step up after that, they're going to send me by mail a PIN number, and then I can go back into the payments portion of it, punch in the PIN number, and then they can start paying me. But again, it'll just be for the gifts and the super chats and stickers. The next level up is whether you get your content paid for, which comes at 4,000 hours, and we just went over 3,000 hours, approaching 3,100 hours. Probably from this video right here will be over 3,100 hours. So we've got another 900 hours of watch time that we need to put together. So I will continue to make videos, as many as I can, as often as I can. Started out trying to do this every single day, but the reality is that's probably not the best way to do it. I will get out at least 2 or 3 times a week, hopefully 4 or 5 times a week, and get you guys videos. So there you go. That's what's going on with the channel and what's going on with my socials. I also mentioned we got into the Fenton show. Over on knickknacks.net, they have a big show 5 or 6 times a year. There's different themes of shows. A couple of times a year, excuse me. A couple of times a year it's Fenton, a couple of times a year it's paperweights, and then a couple of times a year it's art glass in general, but they also have several sponsored shows of other things. But my biggest ones are the Fenton and the paperweight, and sometimes the art glass. So we got into that. There will be a link to that show in the description of this video. So take a look at that. And again, tomorrow for you guys, which will be Sunday, I'll give you the date here as soon as I can see it. The 21st is when you're going to be watching this. The 22nd, I'm going to try to host 2 shows. Lots of cool stuff. Pottery, porcelain, and ceramics, figurines, bowls, artistic things. And then later in the day, we're going to have a choice sale where I set up a stage and just put a whole bunch of little knickknacks. There'll be glass items, metal items, porcelain, pottery, the whole shooting match. And we're going to be starting bids at $1. And if you win a bid, you get to choose anything on the stage. And then as we take things off the stage, we'll put new things on the stage and run it again. So I hope to see you guys there. I appreciate y'all sticking with me on this one. It's been a fairly long video. It means the world to me that you guys come along with me and go treasure hunting with me. I'd love to see you in some of these live shows and some of these live selling events. It would mean the world to me to see you there too. But it really does make my day when you guys come to see me. I hope to see you again. So y'all come back now. You hear?